You are live. Mr. Peter Benton, how's it going, brother? Thanks, man, for being here. Oh, everything is so far away here, the computer. Let me bring everything in here. I got my F Trudeau flag up in case I offend any flag haters. I got some flag haters, man. I like teasing, eh? Peter, how's it going, man? I love you, bro, and thanks for stopping by. Can't donate? You already have, man. You've given so much to this channel. You're always welcome here, brother. How are those moths doing, man? On Monday, but good to see you. Good to see you too, man. You did plenty here, bro. I thank you for coming, man, supporting my channels and everything. Still can't believe the Licky Hills caught on fire. Are you serious, man? That's just shocking. So listen, I don't know about that area. So I was curious. What about your area? So are you close to where there were some actual effing fires? I don't know if it's true or not. Damien. Yes, thanks, man. I heard it was arsonists that started these bloody fires. So unfreaking wheel. Unreal, not wheel. Here we go. I got allergies, man. Bad allergies. Hey, Elias Valhalla. Hey, little thing, let me light the chemicals. Mama, I'm sure. Je suis plein d'énergie, je sais même pas pourquoi. I don't even know why. Bobana, how's it going, you guys? Thanks so much for coming in. And of course, there's that fluttering of the views. Boy, I got really scared when I got down to about 58,000 views for the month. Usually I get about 100,000 views a month. And the thing is that I'm curious that there's not many new people. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. There we go. We got it. Sorry about that. Allergies. Hey, Darla. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in, you guys. Merci beaucoup, brother. Puis Alias, en même temps, mais que je te renvoie le disque, là, je vais quand même le faire comme il faut, la tune si tu veux, là, pour savoir les notes. Ça, c'est sûr et certain. Sûr et certain, mon frérot. Thank you, Darla. Thanks so much. Hey, il y a quelqu'un d'autre qui m'a demandé, Alias, somebody else asked me about the notes to Aliens on the Moon. I said, hey, maybe popular now. No, but now it was cool. Hey, Sergio. Muchas gracias, amigo. Thank you so much, man. This is mi canal Investigación. Talk about UFOs, talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Sergio, I also have a small, un small channel in Spanish called Astronomia of Nice. If ever you're interested, it's in the channels here. The link on my channel, you click channels, click, and you go to Astronomia of Nice. It's in Spanish, all Spanish in the videos. I'm practicing Spanish. Muchas gracias again, Sergio. Thank you very much for being here, man. Lightning Will.i.am Robin. Hello to you. Good evening. Call me Robin. Yes, Robin. Robin is in the house. Thanks a lot, you guys. Dame Damien, merci encore. Thanks again. Carly Simon, nice to see you. Gesundheit, thank you very much. Yeah. When I got home and found out, you could see the smoke on the horizon. Hey, listen, dude, that is effing crazy. I have an ex-girlfriend that lives in England, and around that area, I think, where things had burned, but she wasn't, like you, I think she could see fires from afar. I don't remember which area she was in, but that is crazy stuff. And it is eerie because when you think of it, it's like, who's paying people to burn down projects and houses? It's definitely not the people in England doing this there that would be doing that. It is creepy and eerie, man, because, you know, you saw the church burnt also. I saw the church burn down. and many houses. And the problem that I have, listen, fire brigades work their friggin' asses off. But I swear, bro, as I was looking at the images, I couldn't see any bloody fire trucks. I could see one fire truck spraying a backyard, and I could see one that was over a fire, but all the other houses burning. What the hell? It didn't even look like there was any wind or anything. It's just all the fields burning and stuff. Hopefully it's all out. Is this all out now? Hey, Gog. Thanks a lot. Hello, humans. Hello, humans. Achum is one of the seven dwarfs. Vrai. True. Ah oui, les lyrics, on m'a travaillé dessus. Puis ça, je peux te donner avant même de t'envoyer le 10. Ouais, on va mettre un homme là-dessus, man. Puis en même temps, par curiosité, je l'ai sur la chaîne musique, hein, que je chante, mais c'est sûr qu'il va falloir que j'écrive les paroles. Puis le pire, il va falloir que je les réécoute parce que les paroles, j'ai écrit ça en juin. Ça a sorti comme one shot. Yes, sir, man. Et moi, en même temps, je trouve ça cool que tu. J'ai aimé ton Pour un instant. Tu l'as fini au complet en plus. Super cool. Harmonium, man, is a group I like a lot. It's a Quebec group, but I love Quebec music. They're pretty good. Quebec here are one of the most highly chosen singers in Quebec that go up to the States and they become real hell of a real rock stars. There's a Smashing Pumpkins. Je sais pas si tu te souviens de ça, if you guys remember that group or ever heard of that group. Smashing Pumpkins were right from here, and they were playing in Montreal apparently, and they got popular, and then whoop, now they're in the States and well known. Hey Gary, thanks for coming. Oh, it's awesome, absolutely, Darla. Thanks. Again, Carly Simon, thanks a lot. Robin says, hi, Darla. You're the best mod. I got lots of great mods here now, but Darla's one of the first ones that was here in the channel. Awesome. It was direct energy weapons starting fires. You see, Robin, that's something that I'm really into the theories of that too. And absolutely, I believe it. I believe they could do it. Whether it's that or not, they can absolutely do that. They can also scramble frequencies with that. And now they can locate ballistic missiles both over and underground. And they can screw up, excuse the expression, fuck up the programs operating those satellites. So that's what the Space Force was talking about just maybe a couple of weeks ago. Like one of the commanders, I guess the commander, said that they're worried about malware and all the viruses that the satellites can get. Not the satellites themselves, but the actual programs that are operating these satellites. They can be hacked very easily, apparently. And if the Space Force is worried about that, well, and now here we're not just talking about weather satellites and regular satellites. We're talking about satellites that if somebody took control of a direct energy satellite weapon and just applied the frequency overhead of it and just started killing people as it was going by. I mean, yeah, lots of dangerous crap that those direct energy weapons can do. You know, I agree. Maybe Earth needs some protection against, outside threats, but they're not used against outside threats. They're used against people. And when China, the States, or Russia, Ukraine, anything, it's always the people that suffer because that's how they get back at each other. Yeah, I'm going to bomb New York. Oh yeah, I'm going to bomb Ukraine, and all this bullshit that's going on. A lot of it. Thanks again, Gary. Z-Spin in the house. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to become a member and everything. Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it. Hey, Rimka, 69 DZ 313. Bonjour à tous et à tout. Chercher la vérité. France Macron, Nibiru, Planet X. Exactement. Projet Harp, projet Blue Beige. Absolument. Merci, Rimka. Thanks a lot, you guys. Rimka, j'espère que tu connais ma chaîne française, OVNI Québec Astronomie. OVNI Québec Astronomie. OVNI Podes. Puis à tous les samedis, demain, on fait des en direct. Tomorrow. Thank you, Andrew, for everything, bro. The contributions, for being here, man, for being a member. I really appreciate it, guys. MK Ultra, Remka, yes. Oui, absolument. MK Ultra, surtout. J'ai fait un podcast ici en anglais, si jamais tu comprends l'anglais. Sinon, ben, comme je vous dis, la chaîne française, I do have a French channel, so hope to see you there tomorrow at the stream. Brian, how's it going, man? Happy Friday to you, too. I was looking around in space, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. There's also the Roman telescope now that's going up and going out into space. So from what I can see, guys, is all the countries are doing secret projects under our noses with our funding, our money and everything, our tax-paying money, and they're going out to space to Lagrange area, which is an area of space that is very quiet, which is behind the sun. So that's what James Webb is. That's where a bunch of projects from other countries are being done. I talked this afternoon with my mother on the phone, and she says, don't put the fan too close to your neck because you'll get a sore neck. And I said, I know, Mommy, I'm 47, and now I have a sore neck. She was right. Yeah, and I'm not leaving it. It is too bloody hot. 87 degrees in the house with all the windows open, so don't miss the pleasure to put a thumbs up on this channel, and I appreciate it, guys and gals. If you're here, we really appreciate the thumbs up because it helps. And I say we, so we can sound like we're many of us when I'm alone. It helps the algorithm at the same time, and to get recommended by other channels, recommended by YouTube. Divine Sorcerer, thanks for coming back. As Darla said, thanks for coming back, you guys. Mr. Simon C5 Circle channel, another channel that interacts with the sky that you all can take the time to see also. Hey, guys and girls, I've been out in the graveyard trying to, God, I wish you were my neighbor, some EVP, and that is extra scary, actually, because you get the effing chills when you get a message back, and it always astonished me, man. There's not enough videos of that. I was supposed to equip myself a couple of months back, actually, a couple of meters EVP, and there's a whole bunch of objects I was falling in love with, the movement objects, the pods, the cubes, and everything, which I will eventually look into because I have the chance of, guys, I have spiritual activity in my house. I don't think I'll have to visit any castle. So why not try and, eventually, without changing the channel at all, as an extra, I said, why not? I'm focusing on that bloody moon because the moon, hopefully, I got a bit of the super moon, even though it was the day after. I hope I get it next month too, absolutely. So we can get some, today is the greatest. That's cool. We need good days. I had a hell of a day today. I would say with the rain we've had over last couple of days, I got to be all out now. Incredible. And a hell of a good thing that there is rain, because you can only imagine, you're outside, the spraying bloody water on the house when fires are coming and stuff. This is absolutely crazy. And you look there, man, it's all green shrubs that are burning. They go, oh, well, it's very dry in England. Yeah, but I don't know. It's not like a brown field that's burning. Then they said it was a junkyard that started it. And then they said it was something else, just like the Vatican supposed fire that didn't happen. Of course, if you look it up, there were several fires at the Vatican, but not talking about the recent one that some people said that it was true. It was fake. I partly believed it, boy. I was convinced at one point that it really happened, but the truth always comes out. Definitely. See, that's the thing, Paranormal Kassar in the house. Hey, guys, thanks a lot. That's the thing, Simon. Paranormal and ufology go together. It's the same field. It's that the field's distributed where you got half of the people on the paranormal side that, they think like you and I, though, but most of them are like, you got ghosts, entities, and ectoplasm. And on the other side, you have spaceships, UFOs. But in reality, there's that word that came out not that long ago. It was a word that came out a long time ago for the ones that know about it. but unidentified aerial phenomena. It was a word that people used less often, like space vehicles. But there's a difference. That's why when I say, excuse me, UFO, it's an unidentified flying object. So it doesn't mean it's a ship. When I got that light that went over the house that had shapes and form, I said possibly the first spaceship, but it remains an unidentified aerial phenomena. So you have aerial phenomena that for me is totally just like the ghosts there, right? You have a phenomenon in the sky happening, like you have a phenomenon that can happen in the house, but it's still that same bloody light that's appearing. Very interesting subject, and I hope one day that ufology and a paranormal field, that more people will associate that. I don't put it enough as a keyword. I never do, man. And I don't know why I don't. I should always put it in as a keyword, paranormal, to get more people here, like, divine sorcerer and everything, that do the paranormal research also themselves. That's what I think is the same thing, right? No, a UFO is not going to appear in the house, but it's still unidentified phenomena, even though it's not aerial. It is aerial. It's floating around in the house. But the one that they're talking about, the aerial phenomena, it's bigger lights and they're up higher and further away. But what do we call them when they come down to the house? Like, was that a ghost? Was that a spirit light that I saw? Or was it considered a UFO, right? Or a UAP? So there's a lot of people are mixed up with the terms. Most people are mixed up with the terms when it comes to a UFO. For some, a UFO is a circular spacecraft with green men there, when it could be just debris. A UFO can be debris. If I throw a hot dog across a neighbor's lawn and he doesn't see what the hell it is, it's an unidentified flying object, even though it's a hot dog. No, I don't think UFOs are hot dogs, but you know what I mean. Here we're jumping around again. Hey, when that Sammy M in the house. Hi to you. Yes, Carly. Thanks for that. I don't know them enough. I should look into them. But yeah, very popular group. Like I said, you hear them all the time. It plays on Chom FM here in Montreal. And my mouse is dead again. Didn't I plug it last stream? Hold on. And yeah, these small groups start, Carly, in small bars in Montreal, playing once every 3-4 weeks. And I remember seeing a poster at school one point, just, these bands, and then all of a sudden, whoops, and then they become famous bands and they become very, very well known. Robert Crawford, hey, thank you very much, sir, for stopping by. I see a lot of, I go to a lot of other channels. I think it was on Darla's channel or some channel. I had seen a comment from Robert Crawford, and I'll click on it. And if I'm not mistaken, you're the guitarist, or you played a guitar song or something like that. So, hey, Robert, thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate it, man. Got a little bit more juice in the battery there. But I understand the dead are not to be messed with. I love much respect for all beings. Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, some people try to reach spirits and entities, and some people have problems that they're seeing things around them. That was more my problem. And that's why I tried to, honestly, to cope with it. Because at one point, the shadows, no matter what age you're at, it's a little creepy seeing the movement in the room. At one point, I did actually wonder if it wasn't maybe my eye or something. Like your first intuition is it has to be, my mind playing with me, but no, it's not the mind. Some people actually do see the shadows, and some people see them all the time, and I can't talk to them because then it's like this. I tend to think it's like they turn around and said, "Oh my God, you could see me. I'm going to stick around." So I try to pretend I don't see them. Guidestone, bomb 11 September 2001, satanic. Yeah, it's all satanic, Remco. C'est pas être sûr que les guides, Georgia Stone, ouais. C'est des pierres qui sont sataniques. C'est les maçons ou peu importe, ils savent même pas c'est qui qui a demandé que ça se fait bâtir. On a des noms, mais pas la source. We don't have the source. Thanks again, Mr. Colford, for stopping by. Yeah, man. But yeah, I got a lot of French people that come to this channel too. And so I love, I mean, it's just great. They can come to both channels. Yeah, the Robo Dogs, Carly Simon. And the first I heard about that, it's funny you say that. DARPA. We're talking about advanced, okay, defense advanced research project agency. That's what DARPA stands for. Defense Advanced Research. What did I say? Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. So they do advanced projects and research, and they're the ones, if I'm not mistaken, that did those Robo Dogs, which the New York police have a few of them themselves. And you send that into an apartment. The guy's on heroin. This dog with an eyeball comes in. Guy's flipping out. We live in a clown world. We live in a crazy world. It really is like 1984, right? The movie 1984. I'll say, like Alex Jones says, 1776 is 1984, 1776. Makes sense, right? Really does make sense. The Robo Dog. Did you guys hear about? Okay, guys, you know what they're going to do? They want to hide the sun. Again, you know that Bill Gates was talking about doing that, about applying chalk in the sky that's going to stop the sun rays from coming down and going to stop global warming. Well, they're going to send up robot space bubbles, and the robot space bubbles will be the size collectively altogether like a blanket, the size of Brazil, that will be beside the sun. I don't know which area they're going to get it. An area over there, probably not in Lagrange. It'll be in this side because Lagrange is behind the sun, and they're going to block the sun rays coming to Earth. This is what they're going to be doing. And we got a lot of people talking here and there. You see, they're saying like, well, we need sun. We also need methane. Turns out very oddly that the methane is actually in this. If I wouldn't have researched it, I would never have known that. But the methane is actually keeping the oxygen at a lower level so we can breathe it. Like, for example, there's maybe many ways to terraform a planet. For example, if you apply methane to the surface continually, it will drag down the oxygen. I'm talking in theory here, but you get an idea of how the mad scientists have come to the conclusion of the space bubbles. You can imagine what process they go through. Can you imagine all the chemicals that they apply in the sky? Brazil or Spain, one of the two, got caught applying pesticides inside through chemtrails of the planes. That never came out in the news, but I saw the documentation, and I saw the president himself, if I'm not mistaken, of the country actually mentioning that. Apparently, somebody also told me in Brazil there's archives, the UFO files that they released. I wish I could speak Brazilian or Spanish or whatever language they speak, Portuguese, whatever. Because I would definitely go to the archives to try to see everything they're leaking out. So truth is coming out in many, many ways. And I think they're leaving, going to space, like James Webb and everything. They're doing secret projects. They're looking at something, not telling us what's going on. Somebody told me they're going to reveal structures on a faraway star. That would make sense, They wouldn't show us the moon, but they could show us maybe a star, and they say it's 164,000 light years away. So that's like trillions of miles multiplied by trillions of times. Near impossible to go to, even if you're traveling at the speed of light, right? Speed of light can change, though. Speed of light would be different here as to Mars, right? Depending on the environment, temperatures, the heat, magnetism, different areas. That's why jets have different speeds depending on the height of the ocean, right? Like the sea level. And sometimes there's that jump and gap in the gauges. I saw a Science Channel. I don't even remember what the name of it is that I follow. Very complicated, complex explanations as to why all this is happening. And you can see how we're really primitive when it comes to science and stuff. So our ancestors, the ancient cultures, must have been highly advanced. They must have been scholars, like incredibly intelligent, because you have to assume that the human brain is getting dumber and dumber. You know, the sperm counts are getting lower and lower. I looked into that too. Funny, but it's scary. If you look from 2000, I'm telling you, from 2000, I do a lot of research. From 2011 to today, the sperm count is like down millions a count. It's bad. It's like at one point we'll have like a handful. just to say you make this kid that's able to squint his eyes and go, eh. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be making smart kids in 500 years. Bruce is so morbid. Stephen J. Ford in the house. Hello to you, brother. Thanks, Divine Sorcerer. Bruce, have you ever seen the Fae? I talked to a bloke that, who has a real footage of the fairy and of the fairy. Okay, no, I've heard of that. I've heard of this, and I know a lot of people talk about it. The fairy, it has blown my mind. Listen, I saw a long time ago a video that showed what looked like, and I have a hard time calling it fairy, but a little winged creature that looked human and probably about 6-7 inches tall. I don't know if it was real or not, but it was an old video. Me, when they bring out those videos from the 1900s and you got the, I tend to think that they may be real. You got a lot of, imagine how many video strips that filmed aliens, like old clips, and you know, there must be a lot of things that they filmed. And hey, Vinny, hello. Almost got mixed up with the French hello. They say the same thing. Scotland in the house, another place on my bucket list. Definitely a place. There's so many places I'd like to visit. It's there, the Arizona desert, Nevada. I want to go all the way. What is it? Route 66. Americans some take drives and go down all through the abandoned towns and stuff. That must be one hell of a place to drop off bodies for sure. There must be bodies in some of those houses, but it must be one hell of a ride going down there. I did want to go down to Area 51. It would have been incredible. A Welsh man who is helping with this. That is awesome, bud. You keep us posted for sure. So all heat waves are global warming apparently. Hard to believe, eh, Brian? Like there some crazy new phenomenon. Yeah, exactly. But zero credible agencies make any mention of the sunspots facing Earth. Yep, it's very, very sad. What was it the other day in England? I think it was in England. They said, not good. It's so hot here in England. The tarmacs are melting at the airport. What? Tarmacs are melting at the airport? Bull crap. Give me a second, guys. That was, I don't know. You know how everything's becoming like so much unrealistic things are occurring. Even reality happens now. We're like, no, I can't be. It's like we don't know what's real or not anymore. I don't think I've ever blown my nose so much. I don't feel sick. It's just, I don't feel sick. It's just the allergies or something up. Thanks again, everyone, for stopping in. I really appreciate that. Yeah, the sunspots, the heat waves, and global warming, Brian. They said, me too doing sorcery. I have plenty of entities here. Hey, listen. When I had seen the way you do the videos there, you do a real test and trying. I mean, I'm so envious of you guys. I really got to get some equipment too and do some stuff like that. It's too bad you guys are so far because it'd be awesome. A whole bunch of people together. Can you imagine the energy of everyone together? Hey, Vinny, Scotland, thanks again for being in. Hello, hello. Love that. Project Moon Bruce. Yes, that'd be awesome. It's you know what? Wouldn't it be cool, eh? If we all had the right, like one of my genius friends builds a spaceship with a couple of you, and women work on some shirts and flags and stuff, and then a whole bunch of people, unless some of the smart women do machinery. I got people like Christy and a lot of women here that do a lot of machinery work that I don't even do. So pretty impressed. You see how I'm careful now? Got to be careful not to insult anyone. The world's bad. I have the belief that people are created equal. As for brain jobs, there's no difference between male and female. Either could be smarter than the other, right? I'm all for women getting normal, regular jobs. But when it comes to the dirty work and the jobs where guys have to lift heavy machinery and stuff like that, well, if the woman, I know some women a lot wider and bigger than me and stronger than me. But yeah, I think they deserve to do the jobs that are, if that woman's stronger than another guy, I think that woman should get more salary than the other guy. Because I think that's how it should work. The salary should work by the competence. So if a woman's smarter than a man, well, she's going to get more money than a man. But it doesn't work like that, eh? And it should be like that opened up for everyone, Moon may have a grave yard or 3, Bruce. Yeah. Listen, it could be the whole thing, man. It's obvious activity up there with your footage. Thanks a lot, man. There's to be beings of some kind. Yeah. And if not living there, well, it's someone that's visiting. Because I always say the moon is either actively visited or it's inhabited. And at the quantity of events that we're seeing there, I really tend to think that it could be that the moon is definitely inhabited. How am I with the time on the feed? 8:36. I'm not too behind. Trying to do good tonight. It really is, man, the connection there. And hey, Gamer Sonic. I've been good, brother. Thanks a lot for coming in, Gamer Sonic. Yeah, man. Spread Paranormal. You guys check that out. And that's the Divine Sorcerer. That's him. And he has a channel where does ghost hunting, guys. So go check it out. Absolutely check it out. At the same time, I think it's pretty cool that he can come here and connect and paranormal, whether it be on the moon, whether it be anywhere. I think that there's paranormal and the ufology. I think there's almost no difference. The difference is paranormals maybe for smaller lights, and say like that if you want. And the other ufologists should be ghost hunters anyways, but they're hunting from further away. It's more fun having an experience happen to you. And I say fun, it's not always fun, but it's energetic, boy. When okay, you're by yourself, no proof, nobody around you, and at 10:30 at night or 2:30 in the morning, you see an entity and you're all by yourself. You're not going to be able to prove it, but it's real. And that's why there are so many people that believe in the other side. We'll probably never know by doing a survey, but I absolutely believe that more than half of the entire world does believe entities exist. Easily 75% of the world, 70% maybe, at least 60 for sure. Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Hyde. Peter, thank you, man. Love the research, Bruce. Can't thank you enough, bro. Really means a lot, guys. Thank you. DC Wired, love the name, by the way. Yes. I am very serious. Hey, Mr. I am Kai. How's it going, brother? All needs to come together as one topic. It really does, man, and it will. Stephen A in the house. Thanks again, Mr. Hyde. Peter, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Stephen A, appreciate it, brother, man. The comments and everything. My wife gets angry. Whoop, just disappeared. My wife gets angry when I leave floaters around the house. Stephen A, thanks, man. Oh, yeah, Darla? Divine source or Darla can't ring the bell. Did you prevent us? Should report. No, pretty sure the people aren't preventing people for the bell. Report feedback to YouTube. Your bell has a line running through that. Oh, glitches. And that's what YouTube does. Thanks again, Peter Hyde. YouTube fixes things and they come out with new features. And when that happens, there tends to be a lot of other things that seems to be breaking, I think. Thanks so much for coming in, you guys. 8:22. How am I with time? It's okay. Running. I'm gonna go down. Bruce, I'll post a bit on Sunday. More radio contact with flashes in the sky. Electromagnetic spectrum is interesting me. Absolutely, it's incredible. It's all connected, man. I believe it, bro. Great energy tonight, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm on a high tonight of energy. I don't know why, because I don't have anything to party with. There's no drinks. There's no nothing here. Real quiet. I have a sky. Hopefully, I'll get something. It's been raining all week, guys. 2 days ago, listen, I point up to the sky. I see a plane and I say, let's follow that plane to see if a UFO will come. There's the UFO. It's always like that. UFO goes right by the plane. I'll try to get some of that up. Be doing a members video also for the members tonight. Guess I'll be staying up late tonight. That's why I wanted to go out and do the groceries. So the groceries will be done. And after that, I'll be able to concentrate on doing all that. Same to you, Mr. Cofer. Thanks a lot, brother. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Rob Pace is in the house. Yeah, that's me. See them all the time. See, that's it. And I guess people get used to it because if you're like me, you don't see them more or less. It's always the same areas, always the same place. I don't know if the darkness has to do with me seeing them, but it's always at night. But I still don't know if it's the darkness. Because at night, if I turn the lights on, it's like there's still a president. Yes, a president. Biden's in my house. No, there's a presence and not a president. I've always felt them. And when I was younger, at one point, I remember really trying to do that, like look between, like, what am I seeing? Is there something there? Is there something moving? Doing tests with lights and stuff like that. And it scared me at one point because only once the black came in, like it was like I was in a tub or a pool that there was filling water, but it was black going up. And there was these big cloak guys. And I say guys, it's just cloaked individuals, shadows, very tall, but skinny, really skinny and tall. And they had no faces. And they all went like this, coming really close to me. They didn't hurt me or anything. They just came in close like that. When that happened, I started screaming loud. Mom, I remember banging on the wall. The size I was, I could have gone through the wall. They didn't hear the sound. And when she told me that she didn't hear the sound, my mom, I knew it was impossible that she could not hear the sound. Because if she would have heard me banging like that, she probably would have come in and said, what the hell's your problem? You crazy? Why are you smacking the wall like that, you know? And they couldn't hear anything. Screaming to death because I couldn't get to the door. I was locked in my bed. I was in no pain, but I was locked there. And then I had the flash. Anyway, that's crazy. I'm going to leave it there. But just throwing that in there. If somebody believes in holographic images and stuff and tech, if they were operating on me or if they were doing something like we see in the movies or whatnot, when people say they got abducted, I'm not saying I did. I never thought of this. And it's always been about spirits. And then at one point, when I started doing the research, people started telling me, maybe, Bruce, all those spirits that you were seeing when you were young were extraterrestrials. I was like, holy shit, that was scary. The spirits didn't scare me so much, but the extraterrestrial thought scared me, which is still just a theory, but it makes you really, really think and wonder. So those of you that have seen spiritual things know that they exist, and all your life, you're always going to know it exists. And even when you believe in that, when you're listening to my story, even if you're a good person, if you're like me, there's still always that line of skepticism that sort of jingles from truth to, you're analyzing the person as they're talking. And I don't know, when the story is far-fetched, like if I would have said, then all of a sudden these little fairies appeared and they all have these little frogs with them. I know it sounds crazy, but they were really little frogs. And they were, the more the story gets incoherent, the less people will believe. But the thing is that there are no law of physics when it comes to demons or entities or portals. It does, but it's a physics that we don't understand. And physics here on Earth is not the physics out there in space. So if we're doing calculations here on how to get to the moon, once you get into space, those calculations are not going to work unless you've already been into space and that you've already done some of that calculation. Yeah, boy. David in the house. Thanks, David. I see shadow people around me all the time. My nose is itchy again. Friggin'. I have a very great peripheral vision. That's what I feel I have too. I guess some people have that vision, I guess, to see certain things. And that's where I see them. But I see them all the time. Never cause me harm. That's right. As far as I know that. Same to me. And like I said, they're not even in my face. It's just that it's like a presence. I can constantly see them going by. And when I say constantly, obviously right now, I'm talking to you guys, and no, if I look around, I don't necessarily see a shadow, but they really are there and they come out. Each time I'm alone in my room, that's something right off the bat. Alone in my room, there's that blanket that comes up. And honestly, I did everything to test and to see it and to bring a flashlight. And it's like, I even tried the infrared camera to see if I could film them. It's scary, the fact that you see a shadow, but with the camera you can't film them. I have tried before, and I was mortified at one point. I was sure that I had caught one on camera. I said, "My God, it's rare. I think I got it," and nothing showed up on the camera at all. Nothing. The camera is not exactly the same as the eye. When you look at it, actually, as a matter of fact, the camera will pick up things that your eyes do not see, though. And the thing is about the EV meters, those meters there, EVP meters, is that the one, the EVP with the, there's that friggin' model. I got the number written down somewhere from the 80s that people are buying, that now they're selling at $400 to $600, $700, $800, $1,200. I've seen $1,500 that they're selling the monitors, and they actually do pick up the voices. And it's not just voices like radio. It actually picks up voices that are in the bloody room or from whatever way they're coming from, whatever portals. Other worlds really do exist, We think of the entire universe, it's large and expanding. Well, imagine all the other universes that are around it, so it's pretty incredible. Chickadee, hello. I'm always, one sec, guys. Sorry about that again. I'm just sneezing, guys. I've seen a bridge that you have showed this week through my scope. Awesome moon footage. Very informative. Oh, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, it is like a bridge, eh? Absolutely. Very, very true. Yes, we live in the bizarro world. Rob Pace says, what do you think about CERN? So sorry for missing that. Listen, I'm not very trusting about the CERN. I'm a bit worried about the power that they're using, and now they're up to 13 electron volts. Okay, much higher, right, than what they were doing with the 3.6 electron volts, and that's they're opening black portals. I got some French crawl face, a couple of people I love come here to the channel and support the channel that said, well, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but for me, because they did the rituals there and rituals showed up in the yard where people were doing rituals, sacrificing a woman, and somebody told me, Bruce, it's a play. Okay, listen, that's weird. If someone's doing a play at CERN at night, pretending they're doing rituals, I think it's wake up, right? Whether it be a play or not, it's not a good thing. And it was done at midnight or something like that, the witching hour. And I'm just worried about the CERN, about what they're doing, because I'm looking at everyone that's associated with the CERN. In general, there are hundreds of countries that are part of the CERN, and each of the countries are investing money. I don't have any proof of how much, but I can only imagine if Canada and the States are sending billions to Ukraine, probably giving a lot of money to the CERN. So all this money and funding, basically the governments, the elites, right? Because the elites are the also a government, right? And all the money that we're sending to them, they're doing secret projects with that, and they're finding ways on how to kill us. We're funding our death. That's as morbid as it is, as direct as some say, oh my God, Bruce, that's a little direct. Well, that's what they're trying to do. The goal is to get rid of everyone on Earth so that there'll be the least people possible, because everything that they can do now can be done with machines and a lot less people, right? Everything that they did with the fields and the farmers and plowing the fields, and the way we had to make the cows and stuff, they're going to be able to make in petri dishes, regular meat, and low-key farming, governmental, like 2 cows in a big shop, that are there when they die. You got 2 other cows, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to, at the same time, make superhumans with us. And the testing that's done on us could be for the benefit of outside of this world. Have you ever thought of that? Some of the tests and experiments that they're doing on humans here could be to see what they do on another planet with humans. How many planets have humans on it? Maybe that's what they did with the moon. It's infested with humans, right? They've always been there. And they were like, well, geez, I wonder if there's anyone on Earth. It's probably the same scenario that they're doing up there as we're doing here, down here. Most likely. Biden and his Dem followers, are running our great country into the dirt really bad with inflation, everything they're doing. These out of touch woke liberals are crazy. They are the far left, as we say, eh? He did no favors to our northern neighbors, shutting down the Keystone. You're absolutely right about that. And that, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that his first or second order? One of the first 3 orders that he did, closing the Keystone down. People that were working there, people that moved away and changed their kids' schools to go to other parts of Canada to be able to operate it. Now, I'm no fanatic about taking oil out of the ground, and I'm no fanatic about destroying the destroying Earth with oil, but we don't even know if oil is something that we can take out, or if it's something that reproduces itself continually, or are we draining it out, or is that it's going to cause volcanoes, or like, who knows? You know how many barrels of oil per day that they take out of the Earth? It's incredible, the quantity of barrels of oil each day that they produce. And we have Biden that's giving the reserve barrels. That means, what do reserve barrels mean? It means barrels that were made from today to in the 1990s that are put away, not that long because they go through it first, put away in storage in case there's no more oil, or let's say if gas prices go up or something. So what they're doing is they're selling the reserves to China, and China is a country that started the COVID. It's a country that's performing genocide, and it's a country that hates us. When you go to their schools there, they have propaganda on their walls about how they won the war against the Americans. That's in North Korea there. Now, maybe I'm mixing up places, but I think China also does that. North Korea do that too. They put up there's songs that they sing to kill Americans and stuff. They get the kids corrupt and into propaganda. They all have to be parts of the military in their country. Each and every one of them are militants. And apparently, like the apparently guy again, apparently in North Korea, not South Korea. Um, Even the military generals don't have a salary, and they live in small, tiny houses and huts, and they eat fish and bugs, and I'm not kidding about that. You know what? When there's a documentary about North Korea, and you go there, and everything's fake. They have a frontal facade of just a fake town where they send the visitors to, and they make the people go send flowers onto this big friggin' statue of the terrorist before the one that's there now, his dad there. That's crazy. You know, do we see people when they come into our countries go kiss the feet of the statue of, I don't know, Abraham Lincoln, for example? What they will, I don't know what it is with that. Paying tribute to my father. Why? Why? Why you do that? No, sorry about that. Sorry, Mom. I feel really funny today. I can only imagine what a dude on drugs thinks when the robo dog busts the door down. Dude, like, what do you do? Like, how do you react? It's like, what are you gonna throw hot water to the dog? You're gonna shoot a leg or something? I don't know if it's gonna do anything. But that dog must be equipped. It can be equipped with guns. This is like RoboCop, literally, like two little guns come out on each side of his neck. Like, it's crazy stuff. But they did use one of them to go upstairs to drag someone out. I don't know how they did that. I think went up to the guy's shirt and started pulling him out of the apartment down the stairs. The guy's downstairs with the manette. Come on, you bugger. Come on down here. Whoops, hit his head on the side of the railing. Sorry. It's getting pretty crazy there. But yeah, you can only see the guy. He's high. What the hell's going on? Yeah. Crazy stuff. DARPA. Yeah, DARPA. Yeah, DARPA. Crazy. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. They do a lot of effed up stuff. XS1 or XS3. You know that secret ship flying around? DARPA, those are ships that they're designing on making several of those ships to have access to space in a flash of an instant. So they're able to go up into space and come back and land all with that those wings. It just looks like a jet with a long nose and the wings are at the back. Could be some of them that we're seeing. Simple Plan, the Tragically Hip. Oh, ben là, tu parles en tabarouette, man. Le premier groupe que j'étais avec, the first group I was with on stage, that's what we played. What did we play? I could play a Mean New Orleans is Sinking. We played a hell of a good show there. New Orleans is Sinking. Tragically Hip, Moise, REM, yeah, Tea Party, so listen to all of them. Smashing Pumpkins, Volvid, etc. Yep. Lots of Canadian bands doing good music. Absolutely. Tragically Hip. He's, I think the singer died, right? Did he not have brain cancer? One of them. We did a show in the cornfield with Steph Allen. Actually, he's from Allentown. His parents owned the town, basically. Well, they had the land there, and they made a town by selling lots. Anyways, the Allens, and I used to play with them, and we had a group of, yes, Mr. Colford, the new Ice Age. It's exactly it. It's exactly what we're going through. So they say. And we played with a group there, and we made 15, 20 songs, some Pink Floyd, some Tragically Hip, with Jimi Hendrix, and some popular songs back in the 90s. And we had a hell of a lot of fun playing some Tragically Hip songs. First time I played in front of an audience in my life. It was actually the second time. First audience was 70 people, and this was about 1,800 people. I was horrified. I felt like I was at the Forum. I felt like there was 3 million people there, and I was Bruce Springsteen, even though I don't like Springsteen. Bruce is awesome. I tell everyone about it. Thank you, David. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, thanks for the interest in the research, you guys. Emmy, how's it going? Yeah, exactly. Darla, you're the only one with a few of you guys to get it up. Those views, I appreciate it. That sounded bad, to get it up. DERPA, yeah. DERP. DERPA. DERPA. What does DARPA stand for? Deranged Artillery Reconnaissance Program Agency. Deranged Artillery Reconnaissance Program Agency. Skynet, yes. Skynet does exist. They're talking about it in the news too now, for sure. Yep, so they say. Hey, you guys ever see Bill Gates with big boobs? Sorry, I was traumatized when I saw that. Yeah, there's a real video of him walking out of some business with big mama hooters on the guys. He was, I don't know. I don't like him to start with. Didn't really appreciate seeing the boobs on him. Sort of really made me not trust him after that. Boston Dynamics are mental making those things. Boston Dynamics, I mean, and the worst, there's a whole bunch of people that are together and doing this. You got NASA, SETI Institute, you got CERN, you got HARP, and here in Montreal, there's a whole bunch of companies that are working on building pieces for radio telescopes for NASA that is in communication, doing a project with people all around the world and building an array system. That means a whole bunch of radio telescopes all beaming together. There, I mean, listen, can you imagine the energy, the power, and how far they can go? And I think it's Redhorn's wife that was saying that he mentioned to me that Redhorn said they should look back at the moon, James Webb, as they're going by. They could get a hell of a view for sure. OBX Arms in the house. Love you, brother. Thanks for stopping by, my man. Yeah, the crazy times. And DARPA, they're based on making artificial intelligent programs for even the fact checking online. And they talked about it and then they stopped talking about it. But I believe it's DARPA that's doing all the programs on YouTube and everything. No, they're not working at YouTube, but they're trying experimental programs all the time on people. DARPA's trying to develop a way to fight terrorism which could be a good thing, right? It's just that they don't develop those things to protect us. Usually they develop it to know everything about us, because if you have a cell phone, they're listening to you. If you FaceTime, you're being watched and listened to. Hackers watch and listen to you. So of course the government is going to be watching and listening to you. Remember when the breaches started, everybody? A couple of years ago? Oh, visa holders got their information, shared and leaked. And in the States, users got their information leaked, and China it's like all of a sudden people are getting these emails and calls in their homes. You want to buy this? You want to buy that? All our information was spread out all over the friggin' world, everything. There is a place. Imagine going to the source on the internet where it is that conversion or bypass area where all the information in the entire world or universe goes by, and just sit there and watch everything going by. Wow. Murder, rape, murder, rape. Imagine seeing all the messages in the world going on right now. Some people are looking at them. That's for sure. There's just so many of them. So the government has this, it makes sense, has this understanding that, hey, too many people here on Earth, got to get rid of some people. He said it, Bill Gates. The problems, CO2, humans, there's too many of it. Methane levels, he's talking about all these levels, the heat going up, temperature of Earth, and that all has to go down. And he said one of them are going to have to go down to zero. And he starts to laugh. Then everyone laughed. And he literally said, standing there many years ago, this is surprising. This is many, many years ago, even before I was researching, where he admitted that the V, the jibber jabber, is going to help regulate the Earth population by 10-15%. That means he's going to try to get rid of that many, as to some people where they say, well, they're going to get rid of 90% and keep only 10, 15. No, I think he's going to be happy to have gotten off just by getting rid of 10, 15. So if they do that every 50 years, every 100 years, they get rid of. I'm serious about what I'm saying, guys. I believe this. I believe all the black plagues and the days that occurred and everything, they were all New World Order events. It's all these fake pandemics, polio, scurvy. It's the Black Plague, the Depression, the World Wars. It's all deliberate. It's all deliberate. When you see the crash in stock and everything back in the day, I believe it's all planned and deliberate. It's like we were talking in the last stream, eh? We're living in a mock-up. A mock-up is a fake setup. All space vehicles have mock-ups. You know that? There's a mock-up for every launched vehicle, and every rocket, there's an area where there's a mock-up setup of the area. So I always thought that's how they did the space landing with Stanley Kubrick in an area where it's just sand, and they were playing around with the lights and coming up with scenarios. You got to admit, guys, it would be easy. 10, 15 guys and gals, all of us together, making a fake moon launch and landing when nobody knows anything about space vehicles and stuff would have been really easy to do. They obviously would have had the state of the art equipment. And then, anyways, Buzz Aldrin actually admitted, that it was staged and everything. So it's all been admitted that. And I'll go worse than that. Instead of talking about everything he said, I'll say one thing that we're sure of. He said that the public never saw what went on the moon. So right off the bat, there's a lie somewhere, right? Because everyone remembers the space launch. Oh, I remember. And I remember my dad was crying. And I remember we were all flipping out. We had just gotten a TV and stuff. And I remember a lot of people telling me this. But in reality, it was all fake what they showed. It was illustrations of what they showed. And I think the reason why they did that is they were trying to pretend either to Russia that they actually went to the moon, or, like I said, during pandemic times, the president, the governments, and the medical associations, pharmaceutical associations get more power and they get more funding. That's what happens. When they get more money and more funding, like they did now, they're trying to push the pandemic. No, don't understand that. There must have been a deal that was done between the elites and the government where they said, well, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. Thanks, Darla. Yeah, out of curiosity, if you're a new here, type new. We tried that in the last stream, but there were no new people, which is very rare here. Like I said, like for real new people. Like if someone's here for the first time tonight and you don't mind not to be center of attention, we're just curious to know if you're just arriving to the channel, because I'm telling you, it's very rare. Warp space and time. Yep. Then I always explain that with a paper. I love doing it. Space and time in front of you and behind you, and you can travel faster than speed of light. Sounds easy, but it hates to us. Yeah, listen. That's the universe, right? Universe is flowing in the wind here, and we're over here, and we want to get to the other end. We want to get to Andromeda. Well, all we're going to do is bend the space and time, and in the bottom, the 2 points, well, now they're just quite simply together. So for someone to go to the end of the universe by bending space and time, all they have to do is a little jump, whoop, and they're there, whoop, and they're back, just by bending space and time. Incredible. Now it's to find out how to bend space and time. Not an easy task. Can your car bend space and time? Most ancient language of India. Interesting. I love languages. Thanks again, Emmy, for being here. Mark, Daniel, thanks for coming back, brother. I appreciate that, guys. Thanks for hitting the like button. Vortex, mathematics, natural flow, science, a better understanding of what water is, all pre-central bank science. Vortex mathematics. Interesting. Never heard of that. Natural flow science. A better understanding of what water is, all pre-central bank science. Interesting. Thank you, OBX Arms. If I were native, I'd do rain dances every few hours. Oh, damn right. To make it rain? Yeah. That's what I do. There's something about that too. Before I even found out that I had Indian blood, there's just something spiritual for me. I get all teary-eyed when I see Indian rituals and stuff and dances. I get really into it. You see them, I get into it. Anyways, I got full of energy tonight. That's what it is. There's energy when they're doing that dance, and you hear them. I think it's something incredible to hear the sound of the Indian singing. For me, it's just something incredible. We saw it at the Ottawa protest, and the Indians came there and everything. First Nations, and they were there, and some other Indian tribes, and they're banging the drums, the war drums, and just the war sounds, and just all of us together. It was something incredible to see. Route 66 is gone. Oh, you serious? I am Kai, eh? KM, thanks for coming back, brother. Keep them coming, Darla. I didn't know that, Kai. Thanks for letting me know that, man. I hope to get up there one day, man. Is the sun sending the world crazy? Yeah, there you go. Listen, did you guys see what happened at Walt Disney? I got to be careful now. I always, well, not be careful, but I always mix up which is which. There's Disney World and Disneyland. Disneyland, Florida, I think. Disney World, California, whatever. Disney World, one of the two. Could be in Florida. It was on the news. Alex Jones was talking about it. Families fighting each other, fist fighting each other. And the kids on the sidelines looking at us to say, what the hell's going on? And there was another amusement park where some people were really fighting. Listen, back in the days when we had people going around like that, gangs of people really pushing and fighting people, they got their asses kicked. Cops went right there and picked these scoundrels up and shipped them off to jail and for 2 or 3 days, send them to court, give them $1,000 debt. They'll take them a year to pay because they don't work. But that's not how it works anymore. In the States, also very scary. And I started seeing them do that many months ago, started letting murder criminals out of the jails and literally emptying all jails. Some of these people coming out of the jail are repeat offenders. Duh. So they went right away to rape some people. Some, kids got hurt again. Look in Uvalde. I don't even talk about that because I'm totally pissed off that the police just sat there doing nothing for hours when kids themselves were calling. Anyways, we live in a fucked up world when you think of it. OBX Arms, love you, brother. Thanks a lot, man. To the Tom Jones of ufology. Thank you so much, brother. Thanks a lot, man. I don't understand that as somebody is lying about something. Yes, there's definitely some lies going on. Thanks again, OBX. OBX Arms says global government requires global crisis. Excuse me, guys. That's what I was talking about again with my mother's popular, smart woman, talking about with her this afternoon or another day. I think it was this afternoon about that. Yeah, just before doing the stream, I believe that the global government that is running Earth right now that we don't appreciate and that we want to see abolished is going to have to abolish itself by a global crisis. And that global crisis is going to cause all the elites and the companies and associations and also the frontal organizations that are hidden. Because when we say CIA, well, basically it's everything together. And I'm going to shoot, DARPA, the Air Force. At one point, it's still all just one. It's several branches of one association, right, that are running all the same thing. So they hide information in different associations like, oh, I don't know, deal with the Pentagon. I don't know anything about that. Oh, well, and there's like DOD, there's lots. There's the defense and everything. Really, really crazy. Thanks again, OBX Arms. I appreciate that, brother. Are you serious? I am Kai. I want to check something out. real quickly, guys. Give me a second on the sun here. It's been raining for a couple days here. So the sun was really, really bad a couple days ago. Couple days ago, I filmed it. Now there are there's it's no spots at all facing Earth. Okay, so the solar wind right now is currently moderately high. Oh, it is pretty high though. It's 622.4 kilometers a second. Usually it can be down towards the 300. So the winds are high, but the last or beginning of May, mid-April, when they had these coronal mass ejections and solar flares, the last, I'm not seeing anything in it, and it's really bugging me, man, because I'm on spaceweatherlive.com, which is up to date. Always, I don't go there to hear what they're saying. I go there because they show the sun all the time to see where the spots are facing. Right here in actually, that's not Quebec. That would be in California, the States. I guess that they're taking that, and I don't see any sunspots. So I don't know. One thing that could be is that sometimes they have CMEs that are on the eastern or southern limb of the sun. That would be hopefully what's going to go by. But yeah, I'll be checking that out. A lot of people come to space. No, not seeing anything about that. But I will be listening and checking out. Maybe at one point. Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Rock and roll man of the stars. I'll take it. That's the first thing somebody said. What would be the first thing you would do to an alien that, you know, that if they get out and you want to talk to them, but their language is, you're not going to be able to say hello. They're not going to give a shit about your hello. So you start playing music and just go like, I do a stupid face, a stupid dance. If they don't laugh, they're going to kill you for sure and eat you. You hope that they have humor, right? Sitting there with I can only imagine if Neil Armstrong had really landed on the moon, seen the alien, and jumping back and going back to the taking off. I don't know. That's a lot of funny scenarios. What could have happened there? Lisa, thank you so much, you guys. Thanks, OBX Arms. Love you guys. Flags will interchange. Stars will come back. OBX, I had another flag hater comment on the video under the comment section that was asking me what's with the flag. So I explained it, and they seemed to be okay with the explanation. But yeah, not giving in. I have some ties with some people here, and I met some people in very funny ways. And I tell you, some people I get really close with, and it's, you know, some really amazing people that come here and stick around. That's the cool part, even though they are hiding the channel. But I believe the tar could stick to the tires. Yeah, for sure. But Darla, you should have seen it. They said the tarmac at the airport was melting, and here they're outside and they're, you know, putting up cones around the area where it's literally melting, and just like, what the hell is going on? Wait a minute, melting tarmacs. It's been 40 degrees here before, okay? And I know stuff really can get hot there, but melting tar, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Tarmac melting in Phoenix, Arizona happens, and no planes can come and go. Thanks, Cam, for letting me know that, man. I would have never thought. So I'm going to take a guess here. I guess on the tarmac, it must be sort of this stupid me there. It must be more like a drag strip, sort of grabby tension to grab with the tires on tire on rubber. Maybe there's a different application to make the tarmacs, because I can only imagine the asphalt here, you know, starting to melt. That would be a little freaking crazy. But I didn't know that. I had never heard of that. I know here the problems we have here is the de-icing, Montreal and everything, and the wings, just like when the UN planes landed in Ottawa that nobody knew about. Couldn't believe that. Two planes. de-icing the wings continually. De-icing the wings because you can't take off because the ice forms on the wings. So we take off and land here in freezing rain. I mean, it's pretty crazy when you think of it. Wouldn't be the one. I wouldn't want to be the one driving the plane and land on that shit. The magnetic field of Earth is weakening because we're in a grand solar minimum. Minimum. The data shows we are being bombarded with dangerous levels of radiation gamma rays. Yeah, and yes, that's what's happening. But we're actually approaching the solar maximum, right? And 2025, it will be the maximum, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's what they said. The magnetic field of Earth is it's the whole chemistry. And you know what? Science is only talking about it now. I'm watching in the forums, and they're talking on all these big complex forums about the magnetic field of Earth, about the magnetic field, saying the sunspots, large sunspots, when they're formed, it creates a ring, a halo around them, and that halo, they say, is trapping the light from reaching. Or was it that? Is that what they said? They're worried about it trapping the gamma rays or trapping the light from being able to reach Earth or something like that. And they're just talking about it, but they're saying that those sunspots affects the chemistry of the entire atmosphere of Earth. So we're seeing ridiculous storms. And how is it going to affect you? It's going to affect you differently in the area you're in. I keep pointing to the globe. Where the hell's my globe? Okay, it's over here now. Oh, it's right there. Couldn't see the globe, Mr. Globe. So in the Pacific, in the southern Pacific, and all along the equator, so Australia on the bottom, over top, the water, southern Pacific, China off, Japan, and that is where the earthquakes, that is where Tonga earthquake hit, where La Palma hit. It's all in the Pacific. Look at every volcanic event and earthquake event that happens in the oceans there. Except when it's beside California, of course, but still, it reaches the Pacific. It's straight across. No, me either. I mean, I hadn't heard of the melting, but KM said it. So, and I believe him. If they said definitely that's, wow, I didn't know that. But again, we're talking Phoenix, Arizona. So here's the thing. That means Phoenix, Arizona is an area where there's more sun than anywhere else in the world, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the areas where there's lots. And it's always blue skies and no clouds. From what I heard, that was from Marty, a friend that passed away, that told me when he was in Arizona, he said it's very rare, the clouds. So obviously the clouds is what's stopping the heat from coming down to Earth. And obviously the clouds is what traps the heat also. So in Arizona, the sun rays must be bouncing and going back up, bouncing, going back up. That's why they're talking about the greenhouse effect, right? Because the sunlight comes down and it used to bounce back up exactly where it touches. It goes back and beams back up to the sun. Apparently, it's not beaming back. And what's happening is that the heat is staying trapped on the surface, and it rises because heat rises. And when the heat rises, it goes and reaches the first clouds that are a mile high up. And those clouds that are a mile high up immediately form into rain clouds, and all the humidity is sucked into that cloud. And that's why at 10:30 in the morning, it's a boiling hot day. And by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, there's thunderstorms and wind that starts and everything, because that heat's remaining trapped down into the clouds. And the clouds is keeping the heat down. So it goes up. Once that heat goes up into the clouds, it picks up all the moisture, and then it bombards. The hotter it is, well, the more rain you're going to get, and it just comes back down. So areas here in Quebec in the winter, it's causing us to have, like Robert Cofer talked about, the ice age. Well, that's what it causes. It causes mini ice ages here, meaning, and I experienced one this winter as last winter, where it starts snowing. You look outside, it gets scary. When I say scary, you can't see 5 feet in front of you. It's just squalling, snow squalling, which is impossible to see. That's when all the accidents happen. Well, these mini ice ages are created by the drastic change in temperature and the heat being trapped because of some of the sunspots too. It's not going to help. So it's interesting when you do a little bit of research on exactly what's going on. It's like that's what we all should have learned about in school. That's what they should have taught us about the climate change. They should have been honest about what goes on. Like the biggest problem you'll ever have, kids, when you leave this classroom, you'll be a drug addict. You're going to beat your wife up. You're going to get beat up by your wife, which is a rare. I'm sorry for you, but it'll happen. There's all these people sitting there in a class. And they're going to go through different things. One's going to be a lawyer. One's going to be playing with Jim Carrey, even though Jim Carrey doesn't make any movies anymore because he's now a tetrahedron flying around in space. I think Jim went through a big hard time when he realized, I think you all know that Jim Carrey wants to talk about Hollywood and the New World Order and, the autism caused by vax and all that. He wanted to talk about that, and he's just shutting up now, and he's pissed off about the world because the ones that wake up, that's how it is. The actors that want to get up in life and get up there, well, did you hear about the Hollywood actresses having to sleep around with everyone? This is all real, eh? It's a cult. It really is a sexual satanic cult that's running the entire world. It's crazy stuff. Barb Weist is in the house. Hey, sweet people. Like and share, please. And try. Just going to chill and listen. Thank you. And thank you. Just going to chill and listen. Love you, Barb. Thank you so much, dear friend. Hey, yes, sir, Brian. Sorry I'm answering so late, you guys. Yeah, the group project idea would be awesome. Peter says, I don't know about the tarmac on our airport, but the heat was like nothing I've ever experienced. That's incredible, eh? Since this one time in the late 80s when I was about 8. Yeah, like, listen, imagine, right? But the heat was truly unreal. It was horrible. Scary stuff when you think of it, I'm telling you. David, I agree with that, my brother. Our Lord will be amongst us very soon. You could see the changes. I suggest all of you tonight for a good trip, go on YouTube, type in Revelation audio. You'll read all of Revelations. It will take an hour and 30 minutes. Do your work around the house and listen to Revelations. It's hair-raising because what's going on, it sounds like they're talking about the year 2021. Everything that's going on now is actually all labeled in there. It's very interesting if you want to get an idea of what's coming. You don't have to be religious to study the Bible. I was so interested in out of curiosity to see, because a whole bunch of people are saying, hey, look what's happening. It's the prophecies being held. And so it's like, you can't help but out of curiosity try to go in, as hard as it is to believe. Bruce has a very strange way of talking about controversial things, but I have the most respect for all religious people, even though I find religion is a crutch because they're hiding the truth from it in it. And it's sad. If the world floods again, Moses will save all the animals again in his giant UFO. Yeah, most likely, but oblada, life goes on, right? That's what happens. What goes up comes down. The same people will be recurring. As a matter of fact, I got you, Simon. I got Peter over top of you. As a matter of fact, maybe you guys are two apostles. Who knows? Imagine them coming back. I heard in the Bible their deaths were pretty gruesome. That's also part of the Bible that was taken out, where they're not going to talk about that. But they were all slayed, each and every one of them, apparently. Let me scroll down here now so I can catch up with everyone. Thanks again, everyone, for coming in. I really appreciate that. Darla, I saw we had KCMLC on the last stream. I didn't get a chance to see or say hello to him. Chickadee, how's it going? No. Missing 4-1. No, I did. I don't know that channel. Thanks for asking, Chickadee. UFO Watcher in the house. Thanks a lot, man. We're thinking the same way, you guys. I was staying, says Will. How's it going, Will? 8:49. I'm still late. I was staying at somebody's house for the night and saw a shadow person came out of the TV. Okay, listen. I did see a TV-related incident, and never even mentioned it, and it scared the living hell out of me. Wow, that's interesting. Come out of the TV. This was about 3 a.m. in the morning. That's the right time. And I was in another room next to the living room, and it was all black because that's what's going to come out. So literally, it's not a cartoon character coming out of the TV. It's that is an electrical box, and the entity that was appearing in front of you went through the TV. That entity didn't know it was going through a TV. And that for me is what interests me, because I've seen a shadow person be afraid and swing at me for real. And then I was, oh my God, guys, I got so intrigued. I said, you know what? Some of these beings could be living beings in another parallel world where all of a sudden it saw a shadow in front of it, me, and it swung at me like, what the hell? There's a ghost in my house. And I'm sitting there looking at the shadow. What the hell? We can't hear each other, and we can't see our mouths going or anything. All we could see is a silhouette, and I couldn't see the background behind them. That was really creepy, but I saw that. The other side is real. I don't care what anybody says. Gate Smasher, hoorah in the house. Thanks, man. Yes, sharing thoughts and ideals respectfully. We have a lot of fun here. Respectfully is very important. Ah, j'en ai sniffé du bon. Je me sens épais tonight. Right with Shiva. Yeah. Yeah, I know all about Shiva too. Many different meanings for Shiva. A lot of people are like, well, what do you mean? That's not nice to say that about you. No, she's a portal to the dark side. That's what she does. Yeah, I had touch a ceiling. That's a crazy story. Yeah, of course. Yes, Oliver Klein. I'm worried about every freaking one of them, except that one, the CERN one, is the biggest one, and it's the ones in charge of that. I'm not for. I don't trust them at all, especially when they have Shiva in front of it, opening a portal there. The ideal. I mean, she is a portal to the other side, so you could even see the portal around her with all the fire and stars, and that's what it represents as she's standing on a baby, because she starts universes over. She makes them better. little worried about CERN starting up the CERN. So think of it. If you follow word for word what it means they're starting up CERN, and CERN represents the beginning of a new universe, and they will be part of beginning it. So that's something very dark as a project of what's being done at the CERN. And that, for me, is why CERN concerns me. I have a very heavy intuition about that place. I do a lot of research as much as I can about the place. There's just nothing to see except talking about their readings. Right now, they're smashing particles together, eons, atoms, right? Sorry. They're smashing those together at high speed rates of speed, just close to the speed of light. And they're getting 1 billion collisions per second. And all of those 1 billion collisions are being recorded on separate boxes on a massive computer, storing all the data. I have problems keeping all my videos on my computer. I'm up to now, I think 6, 7, or 8 black boxes at 200-300 a piece, 6 terabytes a piece. Last a year. A year, I fill a box of 6 terabytes every year and 2 months. About. I go back and I go buy another box, and these guys are smashing 1 billion atoms together every second. So, and they're going down a good stretch of tunnel, right? On top of it. That's pretty incredible. How is that affecting the people on the outside? That's what I'm wondering. Thank you. I'm so glad some people are waking up. Absolutely, Divine Sorcerer. That's what the last 2 years have been about. Really have, brother. And you know what? There's a shitload of people right now that are so much awake, and it's people that are older in age and people that are I've never looked into it before. That at one point there's just so many bloody things that are coming out, in reality, and people are like, wow, like what the hell's going on? Some of us, well, we helped our parents by trying to bring information out and to tell them that shit was going on. But a lot of things that my mother herself was saying, like, well, that can't happen because we went to war for that. There was a treaty for that. We did that. That's always been concluded. There's this and that. But then they started changing the laws. They started literally changing laws. And like Biden, if those of you curious, go and look at the executive orders that each president of the United States did. Okay. The ones that we really know and talk about, like Eisenhower and Nixon and all those people got so many bloody orders out. Some of them was 200-300 orders, and some of them it's like, Biden, I think he's at that. He's somewhere between 200 and 300 executive orders that he's done. But one of them, like I don't know if it was Kennedy or who, it was I think 1,400 or 1,300 orders. And then you wonder why he's dead. Well, he was trying to bring so much good, I think, to the country. A lot of people told me it was CIA. Well, it could be, but I think we all know now that inside of the CIA, you have good and evil, right? You have people that want, every time something comes out, MK Ultra, the mind control programming, came out, leaked from the inside because CIA members wanted to get that information out, and they wanted to know what programs were being done because they were part of that, the intelligence agency. They wanted to know what the hell the programs were being done. So, then all of a sudden, well, you have the one in charge of, at that point, well, burned or got rid of 20, 30,000 documents, which was basically most of the proof of all the experimentation they had done. Beautiful. They always have it good on their end, for sure. What if CERN, KM says, is like a Stranger Things time machine that opens a gate? See, that's what I think is more of what they're doing. And I actually think, you know what? Imagine them sending elements, physical objects in these black holes to see if they will appear in other areas, right? Like trying to locate them. Like, think of the craziness, maybe they have a way of detecting when a black hole opens. Maybe they have objects that they can read and go inside that black hole to see where it's opening up. Like, for example, if they open up the black hole and they have a reading that's the exact same temperatures beside Mars, maybe there's a portal that will go there. And listen, this is all very, very real. I believe it's real for sure. 100%. Bruce, you have an explanation for the Mandela effect? I do. I have a theory. The Mandela effect, the reason why things are reoccurring is because there's a part of us that are going into other periods, like of time, because I believe that the past, the present, and the future are all sitting together, one over the other. And what's holding it all up, if somebody is aligned with that frequency or whatever, they can go back and come back. That's, for me, was time travel. That's how basic time travel worked in my head a long time ago before doing any analysis. Imagine before the internet, somebody that knew as much as we all know here were people that went to universities and colleges and that studied a lot in fields, But then again, you're only good with the field that you're good with, that you study with. Norma C's in the house. Thank you, Norma C. Just wanted to let you know I was hanging with you all. Love you, Norma C. Thank you so much. We are cloned hybrid. I believe that, Oliver Line. Hybrid workforce, nothing else. Yep. But you see, the goal, Oliver, was to make us feel free so that we had weekends. We could take maybe 3 months holiday. They don't give a crap because in reality, the time you're off, the money you're spending the money on the system and you're making them rich either way. So that's what the goal was. We're slaves with benefits. We are human slaves. And it only makes sense that back in the day, the slaves were depressed. They didn't want to work. They died every 2 or 3 months because they got depressed. If they make you work and believe that by you going to work, you can be proud of yourself for bringing back a pay to help raise your family and maybe go on a trip once a year and whip out 2,000-3,000 bucks and maybe go to the water slides, because that's probably the price now to go for a little trip. But it's the ideal is to make you feel that you are free. And the more freedom you're going to feel, the better you're going to feel. And the more at ease you're going to feel, you're going to work good. You're going to do your work properly. We're living here on a military planet, right? It's literally a military base. All around us are all the toxic products that they are building. I guarantee you there are planets where there are no pollution. There's no pollution, and never in hell would they ever have these chemistries burning, aluminums, coppers, and all the shit that they're doing. It's crazy. We live amongst that. We wonder why the humans live to 75 years, to 80 years, to 90 years. In general, we can live to about 125 years. That's from what I see. If you're living in Tibet, if you're living in the mountains, higher up in the mountains, you're going to be healthy. You're not going to have sicknesses. You're not going to get flus and nothing of what the other people are getting under that freaking smog of all the toxins that are in the air. And then you have the cars going around with that. Did you see they stopped driving around in China? Was it Beijing or China? I don't remember. Japan. I don't remember where it was. For 1 week, and all the smog went away. It's all deliberate. You don't think the elites and DARPA doesn't have an effing plan to get rid of smog? Come on. They must have all that. But they're doing it on other planets. They experiment on us, right? Why did China pay people? Well, maybe, I'm not going to go that far. Why did China allow people to have as many children as they wanted? And I believe they were paying them or forcing them, not forcing them, but allowing them to have as many kids as they want. Then they restricted the number, was 1 kid. And then it went up to 2 and now back up to 3. But if there's a problem with the population, why would they, like here in Quebec, pay people to have kids? They were doing it. They probably still are doing it. If you're on welfare and you don't have a job, the more kids you have for not working, the more money you will have. And I know some people that have $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month with 3 kids. I'll tell you what, give me 3 kids and give me a $2,000 check and they'll all eat. And we'll go to parties and birthdays and I'll clothe them and everything. No problem. Some people can budget with small amounts. That's my advantage. I don't have a big salary at all. Okay. It's like minimum salary. People are like, how can you even live? Well, easy. When I used to go to work, if I was always spending gas, when I used to work in Montreal, when I used to work in Chateauguay, it depends on how you travel. If you're going to Chateauguay, it's $20 every 2 days or 3 days. It's crazy there. But if you're not having to travel and you're not using that money, to put into gas. I mean, I have a car here, but I don't joyride. I don't go around driving for nothing. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Feeling free because we're not slaves, but we really are slaves. Norma C, thanks again for coming in. I always try to scroll to the bottom and it's like I can't get down there. Let's see if I can get down there. My gosh, there's a lot of people I missed, but I can't answer them all. And I hope you understand that, everybody. If I'm missing you all, I see. And nice to see you, darling, my friend. Thanks again for being here. They paint train rail lines white to reduce UV heating. That's a smart one. There's a smart one. Yeah, right. Like the way we have the dark roofs so the sun can heat our homes in the winter, right? And stuff like that. So to get an idea of why the surface has certain colors on the surface, well, why do you think? I've always said maybe the moon is just a bunch of houses with aluminum tops, like my house, an aluminum roof. Nice to hear in the rain. Sound like someone pissing in a can. But anyways, it's cheaper. The aluminum on my roof has been there since 1940s. And you know what? It doesn't rust. Don't have to paint it. Just a thick aluminum, maybe a couple of Oh, it's a couple of centimeters thick, weighs a ton, just a square. They don't make aluminum like that today. Aluminum lasts 100 years back in the days, and maybe even 125 years before it starts to rust. It lasts 100 years, and then after that, you're good for another 50 years without it rusting. How many times do people change their roofs with regular tar? Change it a lot. Mark Bauer, how's it going, brother? Thanks for being here, man. No, don't be, man. I'll tell you what, like I said, that those CMEs, they're dangerous for the people to get bombarded by rays that are in planes and stuff. What's dangerous for us, brother, is the grid. So look, if you're a gamer, if you really are a gamer too, and you like gaming, man, like a lot of us do here, well, you're not going to be able to play games. Maybe that's more worrying when the grid actually goes down and stuff like that. But we have a lot of people rushing to go out into space. And when I say a lot, why is NASA giving out gifts to a whole bunch of people to do competitions? Did you see all the competitions? They got people competing to make some vehicles to pick up debris in space. They got people, they're going to be offering big funds to people that want to do some experiments on that and try to fix shit in space. That's what they're doing there. That's where they're at. What they need to do is they need to clean up what's around Earth. I believe that the debris that's around Earth will keep us bound here on Earth. We'll never be able to leave. I believe anything that goes through that will get bombarded, right? I can only imagine going to space, how much they must be really tracking the debris, because there is a lot of debris. Thousands and thousands of pieces of debris as big as a fist, all the way up to as big as a stadium, I'm sure. And they have some really big pieces, some truck-sized pieces of things floating around up there. Thank you, Sugar Bee. I love being here so much. I stayed around for most of 1,000 years. Can't wait to learn some of my past lives. That for me would be incredible, learning about some of my past lives. Don't you even worry, Gamer Sonic. I'll tell you what's going to go on. Now we're so advanced, Earth is going to kick anything that's going to come to Earth. And if they want to end Earth, it's not going to be by destroying Earth. What scares me is aliens coming to Earth and killing everyone with frequency so they can pick us up and then just come in the apartments. Everything's going to be ready for them, right? Like as compared to a war, like boom, everything's bombed. Yay, we won Rome, but now there's nothing left. Holes everywhere. Oh god damn, it's hard to walk around. that's how it is. Now we're living through frequency wars where how many times is he gonna buzz that train? So we're living through frequency wars. What the hell? Maybe there's a car in a track. Guy sleeping on a track. What the hell's that? Nice to have you here, Brian. Thanks, man. Thanks for interacting, you guys. I can't cheese and crack. Oh, yeah. That's my favorite. I don't eat cheese anymore. I quit, man, 2-3 months ago. I never touched it again. And you know what? I quit all the fattening stuff, and I don't think I'm losing. What is it like? I'm gonna have to start walking or something? What the hell is going on? Am I gonna have to actually do some exercising? I thought I'd lose weight by stopping eating everything fattening. Turns out it wasn't the food that was making me fat. It was just sitting on my ass. Thanks, Sugar Bee. Damien G in the house. I believe it weakens a lot right before it flips. I'm reading late here. Jared Stein, sorry. Were they in water or all? I've seen some sardines with, talking about the sardines, yeah. I tried them in oil. I had liked it, but I grabbed the little bone inside and I throw the good nutrients away and I eat only the good stuff, which I'm talking like 20 years ago. Hey, Mudvalls, thanks a lot for being here. Magnetic pole has moved for a long time. Really has, my friend. This is something, a continual thing that has been going on, maybe even before we were born, or maybe 20 years. I don't think anyone knows how long that shift is going to be. Like Robert Colford before it was talking about the Ice Age. Some people think that we are in the end of the Ice Age that started 10 to 40,000 years ago. I hear that a lot, which like, so we have literally no idea. They're testing everything out, the temperatures, and they're looking at the temperatures, trying to see what temperatures are around the sun, how hot the sun is. Why are they sending objects inside of the sun for the first time? It's because we don't know what's out there. We do not know what is out there. Once you will eat bugs and you will like it. Really changing, including the moon changes. Everything in this reality creating division. Yes, it is near. It is near. It's coming, my Canadian friend. It is coming. There's going to be a big change. Kyle Fox, BMX1, thanks for being here, man. I wish someone had info. Seems mute. I don't usually get worried, but USGS government employees are driving trucks through New England, Massachusetts, where I live, and military personnel moving crates. See, that's the beautiful part. Thanks for letting me know that, Kyle Fox, BMX1. You know, all that stuff that's happening around the world, we all live beside bases. Some of us live beside companies. A lot of us, if not all of us, know that our towns have little secrets of stuff that we don't usually mention. Like I have monkeys right near here, guys, where they're experimenting with monkeys. I even know some of the people there. I mean, I don't talk about it, but in reality, it's a place that people want closed, right? And all around the world, you have all these places. So now you're seeing movement. So things happen, and you know, unless people talk about it, people don't know what's going on. Everything's hush hush and silent. But that is worrying me a lot. I have some military friends in Quebec, actually, quite a few of them, and they told me that they're going out on missions. They're not even allowed telling me where they're going, but they said that there's a lot of movement and a lot of things going on. This is on Canada's end, and now you're talking to me about there. So like you said, you don't usually get worried, but yeah, when you're seeing government employees moving around crates and stuff, it's because, you know, something is happening. I mean, like you, I mean, you must be, Kyle, you know, if you're looking a little bit, are you that deep that you even know about FEMA camps and everything that's going on? It gets really scary. And somebody that's really awake, I'm telling you, at your age too, I was not familiar with any of that. Of course, it was not much. There wasn't internet, so I didn't really know about anything going on. But now with the internet, I really appreciate younger generation coming here to this channel that are into the conspiracies and stuff. I mean, you'll talk about that to teachers, or whether you're working or not to insult anybody, but teachers are going to laugh at you when you talk about some of the things that are going on. And I never understood why. Can't say for certain, but the shadow that swung at you sounds like a Sasquatch. They will shadow or phase. That's scary. It's a time offset due to forward reverse polarity. Yes, and density. I just recently heard about that, which is like so totally out there into the smart world. But I'll tell you what, man. Get this. It was a human being, had a human shape, and it was wearing clothing. And the shadow was actually my friend's reflection of his own shadow. He was the only one of us three. And now listen, with the three candles that were there, two red and a white, or one red and two white. Anyway, we'll get into that. The candles were there, no ritual or anything being done, but something happened. And the candles, I remember, like you all know, I should have a candle now to talk about it, to show it. I'm very careful with candles. For me, if you want to open a portal, light a candle. Light a candle, sit down, and talk to ghosts. So those of you who are tired of not seeing ghosts, light a candle. Light a candle, stare at your shadow. Dare your shadow to move away from you. I dare you to do it. I guaranteed none of you will try it, because I swear to you, one of your shadows, one day your shadow is going to move. But the problem, dude, Mark, JP's shadow stopped. It was him, still him at that time, the shadow. And when it stopped like this. It scares the living hell out of me. Stop like this, and it was like that. The shadow stayed like that for 30 seconds. Try to understand what I'm saying there. This is a reflection. So by that time, my friend turns around and is going like that. We're like, what the hell? And I said, hey, dude, your shadow. Because with the candle, my shadow was going up to the ceiling. And you know how just the head bends over the ceiling and then it billows and it moves, right? Because the shadow, the candle's flickering. So I was saying, we're talking about Lucky Luke for some reason. We're saying Lucky Luke, he goes, he's quicker than his shadow. So this is what I told JP. I said, JP, try to run faster than your shadow. We were freaking laughing at this, okay, which is nothing ritualistic or even spiritualistic or spiritual. We were, that's not a word, spiritual. We were doing just this stupid holistic type of experimentation, not even just fucking around. I'm Lucky Luke and I'm faster than my shadow. Then the shadow went like this. Stopped, 30-second, looked up, and then the shadow went like this. Started looking left and right, and then we started talking. Then it looked at us, and then it bent down, and it grabbed what looked like a freaking table in front of it, a rectangle, and it held up a big friggin' kitchen knife, okay? That's what my friend Shadow did. Okay, I almost lost my mind, dude. I laughed my head off when it happened. And when I got back home, I didn't understand. And what scared me is that a reflection, which is your shadow, can't move differently than what you're moving. And it never will. No matter what you do, that shadow will be either longer, wider, shorter, depending on the wall and the light behind you. But aside from that, the shadow is not going to not do what you're doing. And it did not do what JP was doing. And at that time, I started thinking of a whole bunch of things, like it was a detachment of himself from, I don't know, from the spirit world or from the physical world, obviously not the spirit world. There's something not right about his shadow, and an entity appeared from it. But that shadow was afraid of us and swung at us with its fist. And what I was sure was a friggin' long blade in its hand. And that being or entity was really scared. My friend Eric turned around, and what he did is, I remember he kicked the candles. One went under the couch, almost burnt the blanket, and the wax flew all over the floor and apart in the wall. Lights out. And you want it? Okay, get this, guys. Eric has a ghost in his house. My friend Eric lost his brother in a very tragic way on the farm. He was killed by a tractor on the tractor wheel. It was horrific. The whole family saw it, and they don't have to get into any details. It was exactly what you think. And he always had a presence of his brother around. My dad died in the 80s. It really traumatized me, and it's stuck with me. It made me get older and at a really young age, and it made me really wonder about spirits and ghosts. But I was not afraid seeing ghosts when I was young, because I thought they were all my dad. And every ghost or spirit that I would see, and I'm not saying it wasn't him, I'm telling you, I connected with my father's spirit. And I know that because it was a message, and like my grandfather, the way they came, it was a deliberate way that I couldn't have known certain things. But anyways, the other side really exists, and it scared the living hell out of me that I saw things like that. But you know what? It's not as dark and advanced as we think. What people are talking about, secret projects going to other worlds and stuff, they'll never come back. I don't think anyone's going to go to another world and never come back. And the problem is, somebody asked me a bit before about, jumping into space and time. I think if somebody has done space travel, which obviously they have, many hundreds of years ago, and they leaped into the other side or go back into past, because excuse me, time travel, there's two things. I believe that somebody can leap to another planet, come back, maybe an object, maybe. But I don't necessarily believe that somebody can go in the past. So when somebody sees a ghost and that the ghost has other clothing on from the 1950s, I am so fascinated by that. The person's not living. The person already went by and lived and is dead. How come we're seeing a reenactment of a war battle sometimes? Because some people say, and again, it could be fake. We don't know. Even me, after seeing a shadow show me a knife, I'm still skeptical about certain things that people talk about because it's hard to believe, right? Remains very hard to believe. Can't thank you all enough for having come here tonight. And Mark Bauer, if I had the courage, man, with some guy, I have to do it with some guys from around here because we're going to need some guns here in the deep woods in the Canadian North. It's the scariest place to go. There's thousands of people that go into the woods and never come back out. The stories of encounters with things like Sasquatch is far more reputable story here for Canadians as compared to UFO stories, because a lot of people talked about the and they have many different names, abominable, anyways, this abominable. I was like looking abominable to be the snowman, and there's a Sasquatch. Oof, brain twist there. Abominable snowman. Yeah, we need the old world back. And like I say, if somebody traveled in through time or something like that in the past, I believe it would alter the future, but maybe only in a way where we're going to see reoccurring past moments. But how are we seeing it? Is it the person's brain that's developed and intuitive to see spirits, or is it because ghosts are really coming through? So, anyways, long story short, at that apartment, we moved out all his things. Since we had a case of 12 after, we're 3-4 guys. We had 3-4 beers each. And what we did is I said, can I crash here? I'm not going to drive home, even if it was 3-4 beers. So we crashed there. We're talking and we had an awesome time where we're best friends, right? We still are, even though we don't see each other. So what happened is there was no electricity in the apartment. But the way that entity came into the apartment was on that wall where his effing electricity box is, again, not far from it. And just the three candles made that spirit appear. Now, guys, think of it. The three of us together, JP, Eric, and I together, we see things in the woods. I saw an Indian, guys. I saw an Indian appear with all its feathers and trying to scalp us and stuff like that in the woods. We were wondering if it was something friggin' psychedelic. No, we weren't on acid or anything. The stuff that we were seeing there was freaking crazy, guys. And what fascinated me the most is that we saw the same things. You can be with a group of people and you could say to your friends, guys, I just saw a friggin' ghost. Where'd you see her? But when I remember Eric saying, looking at the shadow, looking at me, he goes, like in cartoons, guys, triple take. Are you seeing that? I go, yeah. He goes, what are you seeing? He didn't believe it himself. He goes, what are you seeing? Me, like I am right here. I started laughing. I even did a cheers to the shadow. He was flipping out, guys. I'm going, I was trying to touch it and stuff. Because I confronted it, and because I went right to the wall and put my two hands on the wall, and I went on the wall like that. I was going, rrr. I was doing that to the spirit. I was doing that to the shadow. Rrr. It got scared. It flipped out. It was trying to swing at me and stuff like that. It's an open portal of someone that was alive, that was able to be seen because of what? It doesn't make sense. See, that's where it doesn't make sense. There's nothing in physics that can make something enter a shadow. But now here's a scary thing. That would mean that looking at someone's shadow with a candle, there's a part of your shadow or of you or of your soul that must be in that reflection that can be seen. leave that for a thought. And I'm telling you, if you have a candle, try it tonight. If you're with your wife or you're with your husband, if you're alone, I suggest you don't, but try it with a candle and without telling anybody, do the experience, do the experiment. Yes, experience where you're sort of talking or focusing on the shadow, which after that happened, where's my shadow? Where the fuck? Oh my God, my shadow's behind me. Anyways, the guy's, I'm afraid of my shadow. Like, what's his name in A Wizard of Oz? Anyways, the scarecrow, or is it the lion? I'm afraid. Anyways, it's true though. There's definitely another world, a parallel world, but I'm telling you, there's a way to get to it. So yes, what the government's doing, they're getting to it. So I do believe that even if the spirit is fat, is going to come through the black hole. I believe all you need is an opening like that. The reason I was able to film a spirit here, those of you who haven't seen the video, I hope you've seen the video of me filming a spark, a flash of fire, a light, a blue light flashing inside of my house. And that's how I believe entities can come in through portals. People think portals have to be big like doors. Portal can be that big and you'll be sucked in through the portal. So I hope I haven't given any of you nightmares, or probably going to have some nightmares tonight, but that's stuff that happens. A lot of you tell me all the time, Bruce. I love it when Bruce talks about the spiritual. I'll be honest with you. It took me a couple of years to talk about it because it doesn't sound credible myself. When I'm telling you my friend Shadow attacked him, it doesn't make any sense and it doesn't sound too sane. I'll be honest with you, but I swear it happened. I hand on the Bible. It happened. Not lying, and I can affirm it. And you know what? You'll never be able to scientifically explain why a reflection had an entity appear in it. There's no scientific explanation. I don't think any secret society even talks about it. Or maybe they do. Maybe that's what they understood. But somebody said maybe he was possessed, Bruce. And we always sort of did think he was possessed, JP. But anyway, sorry, JP. Excuse me, man, but that's the truth. Listen, your shadow tried to kill you, brother. It's not something normal at all, actually. You know where I saw that afterwards? And then I'll get off after, guys. The only place that I saw this in a movie, it traumatized me. It really did, because it reminded me of what happened with my friend. In Dracula, his shadow, it scares the hell out of me. And I don't get scared in the forest at night. I don't get scared in cemeteries at night, especially not the big one, because my dad's there, so I go there at night. I'm the only one that goes there at night. I've gone there many a times. And yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying anymore now. One psychic looked very scared when she said, one physic looked very scared when she said, you're an old soul. Yeah. Some people are old souls. So I believe that I am one, and that I've been here many times. And another thing, very interesting, guys, I've said it before. I've had twice a dream, and in the dream, there's a woman that appears in a dream. And then, guys, all respect to women of all ages, but she's really old. I didn't know her age. And we're talking a very wrinkly, old, sweet, but old, wrinkly lady, very old, like 90s. And in the dream, she was swinging on the swing, and I'll keep it short. She was swinging on a swing, and it was a wooden white swing, white rope. And I remember in the vivid dream that it was just put up because the rope was new. But anyways, she's swinging on it. Our grandkids are all growing up and everything. But in that dream, at the moment, when I see her in the dream, when I see her, I start crying, and I miss her, and I started remembering all the. I know it sounds nuts, but it was maybe just a vivid dream. But I started remembering all the kids and the deaths in the family and what we went through, and that we were on this big lot. It was beautiful, incredible big tree in the vivid dream. And when she'd swing, her feet would go out over the water. And I remember having built that myself. And it's a tree we had planted there about probably about 75 years ago. And then I wake up. And when I woke up, I cried and I said, "Oh my God, I miss you so much." And I have no friggin' idea who that woman is. But in my dream, I was attracted, in love. Like, no, we're not talking about sexual, yes, but we're talking about deep love for someone that you spent all your life with. It was my wife. It was a person I'd spent all my life with. I feel that she's a real person. I don't remember enough trying to look around if we're in the future or the past, but there was nothing there. It was sort of like a dream, a bit sort of a dreamy sort of setting, white and yellow flowers and big puffy fields. I remember tractors, and it's just like I was down south somewhere, maybe, I don't know, on a farm somewhere with this big piece of land with water beside it. And it was a cool, vivid, but it wasn't cool at the moment. It was sad. And I remember that I missed her because she died. And I said, hey, maybe that's a part of my other life. And I had spent maybe all my time with that person. And then maybe I died not long after. And then maybe I was reincarnated, right? It's not only the Buddhists that talk about, well, actually they do, but a lot of people are interested in the theories of, reincarnation. Anyways, guys, gals, thank you so much for listening in. And sometimes when I go through these, when I talk about this stuff, I honestly think, it's going to destroy the channel. People are going to just be like, Bruce likes talking about these stupid, ridiculous lies about shadows and stories. I'd be honest with you, instead of saying those stories, I'm such a good writer that I could come up with some better bullshit than that. Just a shadow. Trust me. I could freak you guys out, but I don't want to. I don't think I have to. I think that seeing that the other side really exists and seeing that it's not somebody that was dead on the other side, it was somebody that was afraid of me. I believe that portals can open up and the people in other parallel worlds or other just worlds that are living right now, one over the other, we're like through each other. We have the physical world, maybe 2D world, 1D, and it's one over the other. And that all forms the whole entire universe. Bye, guys. I think I've said enough. Thanks again for stopping by. And of course, I apologize for not being able to answer everyone's comment. And Julie and everyone, thanks, Mods, Darla. And I will definitely be back next week. I'll be back before that, but I mean, for live streams, I'm going to do another stream probably from here to Wednesday because some people appreciated having some extra streams. If you don't mind, it won't take away the work done with the telescope. And like I said, somebody just last week said, Bruce, you don't do any more sun videos? Yeah, exactly. Because the sun right now is dead. Dead. It looks dead right now, but don't worry. I'm always looking at it. So what I'm going to do right now is, fingers crossed, try to go outside. Guys, the past few days, I've been seeing a lot of meteor showers, and I saw one actually go down and hit the ground. I was lucky. Unfortunately, I was only able to see it go under the trees. I can't say that I saw it go pock in the ground, but at the tree level, it was down. It's a real meteorite. They hit the ground. Worth a lot of moolah if ever I was able to find it. But yeah, I am Kai. Like I said, there's dangers for the CMEs for our power grids and stuff, of course. But as for Earth and stuff like that, I don't think the dangers are going to come from in the sky. Big asteroid could really cause a shock wave around the world and stuff. But I mean, a lot of people are going to live through most of these things and stuff. All right, guys. Masky Man, thanks for being here. You have a good fan base when there are more than viewers. Here's to 100,000 subs, Bruce. Thank you very much, you guys. Yeah, worries me a bit too, Like you said, because of the psychic looks very scared when she said, you're an old soul. Some people are open to seeing stuff. I went for a card reading when I was a lot younger, and the woman said, oh my goodness, you were important. You did a lot. I'm not making this bullshit up. I'm telling you, she's sort of like, oh, you did something. But she said, in your other life, you did something. And guys, this really makes sense when I see what I'm doing now. In my other life, I did something that was really liked by a lot of people, but then they would have retaliated against me because maybe I was a little too popular. So I said, when they said that, I was like, oh shit. That's what happens when people get jealous about people that get famous or get a little bit more. Anyways, no danger. I'm not famous yet. So I have to thank my amazing online family, guys and gals. I love each and every one of you. Thanks for sticking around. And like I said, the last video in Italian was to reach Italian people. Guys, there's some, one guy shared it with an Italian ufologist. These are things that ufologists can't do. Ufologists in France can't connect with ufologists in the States. And, it's a good thing when we make a little connection. So hopefully that video that I did in Italian language, it will attract more people to from Italy to be interested, maybe make a connection and stuff, just really spreading the word. So if you haven't seen it yet, go check the Italian video and rate my Italian, Thanks, you guys. Caleb, Benjamin, everyone. Appreciate it. Shiva's a male god? The one I have is a woman. I suppose that she's trans. I'm not going to get into that. Sorry, guys. I don't know where my head is today. All right, I'm off before I make any more mistakes. Mark Bauer, everyone, Lisa Eckerly, guys, Norma C. Love you guys and gals. Thanks, mods, my mod masters, and all the help here. Talk to you all very, very soon. Stay in touch, guys. Bye-bye.